You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it!
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, the Kop TV. Welcome back to the Kop TV Hot Kopics episode number 68. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you see this face. I'm not Alex. I'm Alex's mate. He's on holiday now. He's enjoying his time in Tenerife, in Spain. I will try to be the best presenter, to be the best host this day. And we've got a special guest today. Of course, anybody knows who is it. It's one of the best musicians in Liverpool. I will say Merseyside, why not?
Yeah, or the country if you want.
Exactly. Kieo!
What's happening?
How are you, my friend?
I'm good, you know. I'm good. I'm feeling good.
How was your weekend, your week?
It was good. It was release day on Friday, as we'll probably get on to in a minute. But so I've been basking in my own glory all weekend, mate. Yeah.
So let's say on 24th of March, the new single of Kieo, and it's Happy to Lose My Mind.
Yep.
It's been released, and how was the first days? Good?
It was good, mate, yeah. It was good. It flirted with the alternative charts. Like I say, it was a self-release, this one. There's no label. It's still all just me, all done in-house. So it's nervous when you do it like that. But it went well. It's been listened to in countries all over the world. It's people are messaging saying they love it, and that's all I want. If one person likes it, mate, if one person says that song rings true to me, I like that song, it reminds me of this, it makes me feel that, then job done. So I'm loving it. Like yeah.
It's emotional, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, let's preview it. Let's preview it.
But I'm happy to lose my mind if it's with you. That night we stayed.
So you can stream it on all your streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all that sort of gear, whatever your preference is, whatever your politics is. And you can buy it on iTunes if you want to support it further. But yeah, just listen to it. And most importantly, let me know what you think. Never mind like the numbers and stuff like that, streaming numbers. Just tell me what you think and whether you like it. And, you know, next one's coming soon.
Absolutely, mates. We wish you the best luck possible, and follow these lads, Q Music on Instagram, on Spotify, Facebook, everywhere. Yeah. So
I love the graphics, man. You said you did the graphics yourself, didn't you?
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm taking a bit of the glory. I never took the actual photo. I trusted someone who had a very good camera and a good eye for that, and the rest of it is I've had a few late nights up till 3 and 4 in the morning, learning how to animate and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's a DIY release, and it's that gives it a bit of character, doesn't it, lads? Gives it a bit of character. But yeah, it's I say it's gone well. But to get it further, add it to your playlists, add it to your playlist on Spotify and Apple Music, and share it, and that tells the algorithm gods that people actually like the track, and gives it to more people to listen to. And before you know it, I'm driving around in a big limo playing Wembley.
Hopefully, matey, hopefully. So, guys, there we go. Let's go with the hot copies for tonight. Before we go with the hot copies, I want to say something about my original country. So, I've been 1 week in Bulgaria to holiday, of course, with my family. And I was, surprised in the good way that I saw a lot of Liverpool shirts, a lot of Liverpool hoodies, tracksuits around the Sofia is the capital of Bulgaria.
Yeah.
So I was there for 3-4 days, and I was really surprised how much people in Bulgaria love Liverpool, mate.
Have we got bigger over the years, do you reckon?
Absolutely, because
I went to Bulgaria when I was a kid, probably
when?
2001, Sunny Beach.
Sunny Beach.
Yeah, I mean, I went there on a family holiday. It wasn't very family orientated, that resort, like it was off its head.
Yeah. And if you go now after 20 years, Sunny Beach is even better.
Is it? Yeah. So it was good. We had a great laugh, but I can't remember seeing many Liverpool kits about, and I can't remember Liverpool being that big in Bulgaria. But you got to remember, this is prior to 2005, and Liverpool winning European Cups and leagues and getting clopping. So would you say we're bigger over there now than we used to be? Absolutely.
The community of Liverpool supporters in Bulgaria is massive. I'm part of a couple of Facebook groups, and they are 1,000 people, 15 to 18,000, and it's incredible because it's. I started to support Liverpool when I was in Bulgaria in 1997, and the Premier League in Bulgaria, it's people follow the Premier League more than the Bulgarian league. anyone in Bulgaria, they have
An English team.
An English team,
Yeah.
and they following, of course, like Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea. That's the team they follow, they support, and it's it was nice when we went to the zoo with my family, and mate, trust me, around like between 10 and 15 people with Liverpool stuff, and one of them incredibly came to me and recognized me and say,
"Shut up." Yeah, it's Mario,
I swear, but I couldn't believe. I say, "You are Mario, Liverpool supporter." I was like shocked. I was like, "Yes, I am, but how do you know me?" I'm a humble lad. I'm very like, these things make me like feel shy. And he say, "We follow you. We know that we know your story. You are a Liverpool supporter from a long time. You moved to Liverpool because of your love for the team, stuff like that." And he shocked me. Then we talk about the team, stuff like that. And they told me, "We wish." Most of the people in Bulgaria, they never been to Anfield.
Yeah.
They never been to Anfield for different reasons because, in Bulgaria, it's not one of the richest countries in the world. So people struggling at the end of the month to pay bills, to pay rent, stuff like this. And coming to Liverpool is a big spending. I mean, it's not cheap. So for them, Liverpool is like a dream. Same like was for myself before I came here. So it was nice to talk with this family, and I gave them my number if they want some tickets in future, stuff like this. It was nice to talk about Liverpool, and I was very, very good impressed about this incredible love and passion the Bulgarians they have for Liverpool, and it's something that I'm proud. I'm born in Bulgaria, and I'm proud of this.
Were you born in Sofia?
I'm born in Vidin. Vidin is like 3 hours by car from Sofia, next to Romania.
Is there you say there's a big Liverpool following in Sofia?
Yes,
A supporters club.
I'm part as well of this supporters club. We are 1,000 people, mate.
So what you're saying is, Mario, we should go out to Bulgaria and do a show in Bulgaria? Liverpool show?
I think it's a great idea
should
because a lot of people who follows Liverpool, they love Jamie Webster, and you are the successor of Jamie Webster.
Yeah.
I wish you the same success, lad. So one day,
let's get out to Bulgaria.
if you go to Sofia, we can do like 5,000-6,000 people.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Massive says, my half fella bought a house in Bulgaria and the builders he hired started selling Class A's from the premises and got it seized by the Bulgarian government.
Wow.
Is that anyone in your family? You
Let's say
think,
it's like your son, is it,
no,
Mario?
no.
Are you sure?
Guys, tell us in the comments if you've been to Bulgaria, what do you think about the country? Because after this holiday, I have to say, I feel more Bulgarian than the past. So,
Jungle is massive there. What colour's me bin? Don't worry, lad. It's purple. It's purple as it comes. I'm born in Walton and I live up the road in town now. So I've got a purple bin so you can, you can sleep tonight now.
Okay, so let's go to the hot copies. The hot copics. So Alex sent me yesterday a very interesting interview from Eli Haaland's dad on the Norway telly. Basically, he says that okay, so Man City has a partnership with the hospital in Barcelona, so he has been there for further checks and treatment. Now he has been in Marbella for a couple of days with the physio from the club. Firstly, I'm not a doctor, and secondly, I think it's touch and go. Yes, you can't just go 2 weeks without training and then jump right in the fight. There must be a progression there. So what he's saying, basically, he's saying that Erling Haaland is not gonna play in the massive clash against us on Saturday. And I think it's, of course, from Liverpool point of view, it's some massive news because Erling Haaland is the man who scored almost 40 goals this season. How many goals he scored? 40, 45?
I don't know the exact numbers because as soon as he started banging them in on the opening week, I just stopped taking notice of him because it was doing me head in how good he looked. But yeah, if he's not playing on the weekend, it's massive for us. I mean, obviously Liverpool have been up and down this season. We don't know what Liverpool team we're going to get. But if it helps if some of Man City's best players aren't playing, definitely. And it's a game that we've got to win, lads.
Absolutely.
I mean, we say this every week, do you know what I mean? Like this, we've got to win this game. We've got to win this game. But we're out the European Cup now. And the only way back in it is finishing fourth. So we've got to put a run of wins together, and we've got to start on the weekend.
And we've got like 3 massive games in a row in 1 week. So, in the big games, Liverpool always gives something extra. I don't know why this season this is our, one of our problems this season, because against the big teams, we play perfectly. We we score, we win the games, and then against the small teams, we lost that kind of focus. But I think this is this kind of inconsistency, like is the main problem this season. And of course, Haaland is not gonna play, not 100%, but he's not gonna play the next game. So it's massive news for Liverpool. And but we've got some injuries as well. I read this morning that Thiago Alcantara is not gonna be fit against City, and he's gonna miss another probably like 3-4 weeks, hip problem. So
Kazi reckons that Haaland will be on the bench and then come on for 15 minutes or so.
Hopefully we're 3-0 up by then. I still wouldn't trust it, to be honest. 15 minutes is plenty of time for him to score 3 goals, isn't it? But as I say, it is good news if he's not playing. If City got any of their main stars out. But first of all, we need to focus on ourselves, and we need to focus on turning up and not looking like the mess we've looked at like in recent weeks. I mean, we talk about consistency. That Real Madrid game is the perfect example at Anfield. When Nunes scored, great move, great little flick. I thought, and then we're 2-0 up. I think we're flying. End up losing the game 5-2, lad. So we've got to make sure the right Liverpool team turn up and turn up for 90 minutes, because it's all well and good, like, you know, putting a good 20 minutes in, but we've got to dig deep for 90 minutes, because otherwise City will open you up.
It's gonna be a massive game, mate. And especially this season, we played probably 4 or 5 times early kickoff in on Saturday 12:30. And if you remember, we lost all of them. Probably we drew against Chelsea 2 months ago. And I know it doesn't mean nothing. I mean, playing like Saturday 12:30 doesn't mean nothing. But this season, we're struggling even for this, you know.
We do big time, like, yeah. Have you got the numbers for that? Because I don't know if there's anyone else know the exact stats this season when we play. Because I've seen something recently when we play at 12, we just cannot win.
We play Fulham,
especially on the road as well.
Chelsea,
Fulham,
the first game of the season, 2-2. Chelsea, who else? I don't remember.
Well, someone will be a stato in the comments, like, because I'm always half cut when Liverpool.
If you have the stats of our game 12:30, just.
Well, anyway, I know it's not good. That's the point I'm trying to make. I know it's not good, so we need. But like I say, we need our luck to change, don't we? We need our luck to change, and we're the only ones who can change it. So has anyone got the facts here? You know. And
Bajcetic and Thiago Alcantara, I think they're not gonna play the rest of the season. It's big miss because Bajcetic was our best player.
Bajcetic is injured for the rest of the season as well. And good for him. He looked great, didn't he? I mean, it only bodes well because, like I said, now when we're out of the cup competitions and we've probably should have a squad that can play 10 games in the league. Look forward to seeing him next season. I really do. I think he was probably arguably our best midfielder at the time this season. He was only an 18-year-old lad who got thrown in at the deep end, and he swam, didn't he? He literally did. So yeah.
Let's read these comments from Jungle is Massive. Today, Jungle is Massive is so active. Will Kieo play Sound City in the summer?
If it do, it'll be a late announcement. At the minute, Jungle is Massive. What I'm doing is I'm working with a live band, switching from me on the acoustic to me with a full live band set up, and I'll be gigging from around May, which is around Sound City time, but there's nothing confirmed yet. If it do, it'll be late, but there will be a gig announcement coming soon for May. So keep your eyes posted.
Yeah, that's perfect. So let's read another comment. This season, mate, we have beaten Man City many times. Let's do the double over them. I mean, we beat them in Leicester in the Community Shield. Then we beat them 1-0 in Anfield. And the last few games, we have big luck against them. Yep. And of course, Man City, for me, Man City is the biggest Liverpool rival in the last 5 years, because how many times we battle for the title, not in the Champions League, of course. We played just once in the Champions League, 2018, and you remember what's happened. We beat them 3-0 and then 2-1 away. So, but in Premier League, Man City is our enemy. Let's say enemy in the last years.
Yeah, I mean, City are the best team other than us in world football in recent years. I mean, City fans will argue they've been better than us in world football in recent years. I'll say no, because we won European Cup, and the European Cup for me is the pinnacle. But if you ask me, out of all the teams, Real Madrid are probably the only anomaly here. But who would you hate to play against most? It's Man City. I mean, I just don't enjoy it. They're just the they're quick, they're strong, they grind you down. I say we've had joy against them as well, so I'm not. This isn't coming from fear of losing, or I've had loads of bad experiences playing Man City. Like we went there loads of times and we got results, and we come to Anfield and we got results, but they are really, really good. I know they haven't been great this year, and the title race hasn't been a foregone conclusion. It normally is, but they've still got eyes on Arsenal there. They're still up there, still up the backsides of Arsenal. So they're not coming to Anfield just for for a day out there. They're going to come and try and punish us on Saturday.
No, we play away.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
at
away.
the Etihad,
And
sorry,
Etihad.
mate.
Score prediction for that game on Saturday? And score prediction, guys, let us know in the comments. What do you think about the Saturday game against City?
I'm going to be positive, lads. I'm going to say a Liverpool 1-0, Darwin Núñez.
Wow, that's great.
Take that, won't we?
Absolutely. And I'm going to say exactly the same result and exactly the same score.
Yeah.
Yes, lads. 1-0.
I'm doing a bet now.
Darwin Núñez. But I'm not pretty sure. I think he's injured. He missed the games with Uruguay. I'm not pretty sure what's the situation with him, but he missed the games.
I thought we had loads of injuries coming back. You've wrote half the team off here.
Yeah. So Darwin Núñez, then of course Thiago Alcantara, Bajcetic, they are probably they finished the season. But Núñez, he didn't play for Uruguay, so I'm not sure of. No, you know why? He had the injury against Newcastle on the shoulder.
That's cool,
then he play against Real Madrid with like injection stuff like this. I'm not pretty sure. So he missed the national games because of that injury. Hopefully now he's recovered. Like after 2 weeks he's fit, he's okay, and we need him. And for me, Darwin Núñez it's that player that we saw just 15 to 20% this season of his capacity, of his possibility. Next season, he's going to be like, no, I'm not going to say like Haaland, like 50 goals, but at least 30.
He's going to be mustard next year. He's going to be mustard next year. Do we know where Diaz is at? I mean, I know he's close.
It's very close, Diaz.
Do you reckon he'll be in the squad the weekends?
Probably he's going to play 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Probably.
It's good news having Diaz back.
Oh.
Good news.
Got some predictions in the comments as well.
Let's go through these.
Keep them coming.
1-3 to Liverpool. I'm pretty confident. I think exactly the same. Okay, then 3 draws and 2 losses in the League Cup for Harper. Yeah, 3 draws and 2 losses.
There's the facts there. 3
in
draws
the league.
and 2 losses. I mean, that's not great. As we played 5 times at half 12 and we haven't won.
We haven't won this season at 12:30.
So now's the time to change that, Kazi, mate. Thanks for giving me the info there, because I knew it wasn't great.
No.
It's made me a little bit more nervous. I don't know what's going on, or whether they can't get out of bed, or they change whether they're having for the brekkie or something, but they need to get up an hour earlier. Clocks are going forward now, I suppose. That might help. But hopefully that changes this weekend.
Hopefully, yeah. This is the perfect time and the perfect game to change this kind of... It's crazy. It's so strange that we can win a game in the early kickoff. It's so strange for me. I remember in the past, I used to love the games at 12:30 on Saturday, but now I hate it. I don't know why. So let's read some of more of the comments. Neil Liverpool. MKH is pretty confident like us. 1-1 draw for me. Could happen 1-1.
I mean, it's a likely outcome, the draw, isn't it? In terms of, Liverpool are going to turn up, trying to get a big result. City are chasing the title. A draw's not, but it's just no good for us, lads. It's just no good for us. I mean, again, I haven't looked at the table since the international break, but I know for a fact we've got a lot of points to gain up if we're going to get to 4th. So I mean, do you know exactly how many points it is now off 4th? Is it 7, 8?
Yeah, so 7 points. 7 points.
2 or 3 wins on the bounce, and if results go our way, we're back in there. But if we get beat at the weekend and results don't go our way elsewhere, it could be curtains for the top 4. So it's massive that we win this weekend. For me personally, draw isn't an embarrassing result, but it just does us no favours in the race for 4th.
I think my personal opinion about the top 4. Tottenham, they can do it, mate. They just sacked yesterday Conte.
Yeah, I mean, that's good for us.
That's crazy. I think, in my point of view, that's crazy. The way he's been sacked, it's crazy, because
it's almost as if you can't come out, slag your players off, slag your fans off, slag your boss off, isn't it?
That's the truth, bro. I mean, of course, it's something that is, I know Antonio Conte. He's Italian. I know how the kind of manager, the kind of character he is. And he's a straight man. If I have problem with you, I'm gonna say to you in the face. So I think he says something absolutely right about the team. Why Tottenham Hotspur, they are so unsuccessful in the last 20, 25 years because of that mentality. And he went there to change that mentality of the players, of the club, of the owners as well, of the board. And he said the truth. Some of the players, they are selfish. They
Let's look at Klopp as a comparison. No, Liverpool have been awful this year. They haven't scored as many goals as they normally do. They haven't looked as hungry. We've been embarrassed in games. We've conceded lots of goals in games. I've not seen Klopp come out and say, my team looks crap, my midfield looks crap, my owners aren't backing me, and moan. If he'd done that, I guarantee you we'd end up going backwards quicker than we go forwards. And although Conte is a straight man and what he's saying is probably right, if I was a Tottenham fan, I'd be preferring if he said it to the players in the dressing room over than to millions of people in a press conference. Because, like I say, if Klopp come out and said, our midfield it's terrible, we need a whole new midfield, what happens for the remainder of the season? You're getting nothing out of that midfield. You get nothing out of it. And I think that's probably why Tottenham have pulled the plug, because he come out and he's probably gone too far and crossed the line. He's slagging players off, fans off, managers off, owners off. And don't get me wrong, I agree with him. Tottenham have been crap and they absolutely bottle it in cup competitions, and the mentality there needs to change. But you've been brought in to change it, not just talk about changing it. So I think that's where why he's been sacked. And I compare it to Klopp. If Klopp come out and done that,
but we can't do it because we had a lot of success the last years.
Yeah.
He can't say something like that because it's not true. If he said that we had
yeah, of course.
I mean, we had a massive success in the last 5 years. We won every single trophy. And if you say something like that, I understand your point of view, but Klopp can't do like this because this is not the reality. The reality in Tottenham is like that. So
Yeah.
Conte, for me, it's right. Probably you say it's better if he say all this stuff to the players in the dressing room, like,
or fix it. That's his
or
job.
fix
though,
it.
innit? Fix it.
But
Don't
he
just
needs-
moan about it. If the players aren't pulling the weight, then it's your job to pull the weight. If the mentality's not there, it's your job to install that mentality within the players. Just come out and just say, past 20 years, they bottled this, they bottled that. It's your job to change it. The reason why you bought in is to change it. So yeah, I'd be a little bit like frustrated if I was a Tottenham fan. I'd also be a little bit gutted because I do know he's a good manager as well.
He's very good manager. I don't like his style of play because he's very defensive and he likes the counter-attacks. But he's very good man. He's that kind of manager he wants. It's like I want to decide everything in a team. When I come to the team, I need to decide everything.
Old school.
Old school, exactly. So I respect him for what he said because he said the truth. But from other point of view, if I was a Tottenham fan, probably I will think, yeah, it's better that if we sacked him because he can't speak in public stuff like this. Very similar situation with Cristiano Ronaldo in Man United with that interview. So for me, I want to say that for me, Tottenham, after this interview, after all the situation with Conte, they're not gonna, fight for the top four.
It's good. I say it's good news for us, isn't it? Because
Absolutely, exactly.
Instability at Tottenham at the minute is exactly what we need to capitalise on. Who do you reckon they'll go for? Who's the favourite? Do you know who the favourite is to come in at Tottenham?
So Tuchel went to Bayern
Bayern,
Munich.
he's at Bayern, isn't he?
I think Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
No, it's not the. I like him. I don't know why Bayern Munich they sack him like this.
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is shocking news. He just beat PSG in the Champions League. He is, I think, 1 point behind Dortmund in the Bundesliga. Are you sack him? Why? This is crazy decision. But I don't know. The way of manage in Bayern Munich, the way they I don't know. It's so, sometimes I don't understand how it's possible that you sack a manager like this without any reason, because I can see not like big reason to be to sack Nagelsmann. So I think he's a good manager. He's very young. He's 1987. He's 2 years older than me. So I think one day he's gonna be a manager in the Premier League. Probably not now with Tottenham, but one day probably, because for me he's a very good manager. So another comment from Jungle is massive. We are doing a massive spot. So you, my mate, today. So when you do something like that in the media, people don't realize it affects the whole brand of Spurs. Sponsors aren't going to be happy, etc. It's technical bringing the club into disrepute. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if I agree, but For me, Conte was right. Absolutely.
He's right. It's probably why it's gone too far. Once you, like I say, you're publicly slaughtering your employers and your colleagues and the mentality around the whole business and well, the club not used the same business, but I'm trying to put it into normal job context of a normal job. Anybody else who comes out and says, yeah, fellas who are working with me are crap, I'm pulling me weight. I can't stand me boss. I hate the company. You're not going to last 5 minutes, are you? And even if you think that, you don't say it. So to come out in a public press conference and say that, that's why Daniel Levy pulled the plug, because he is bringing Spurs into disrepute when they've got a brand new ground and they're supposed to be kicking on, and you've got this fella who's saying these aren't kicking on at all. All these are bothered about us finishing in the top 4. Nobody's actually bothered about winning anything. Now, again, he's right. That's the problem you got here. He's right, but the style of management just obviously isn't a fit for Tottenham. Again, if I was a Tottenham fan, I'd want him to be screaming that behind the scenes, screaming at Daniel Levy behind the scenes. You need to turn this club into winners. But he hasn't gone down that road. He's given it a few months. He's tried to say the right things. They haven't responded, and he spat his dummy out and said, well, this club just aren't winners. If Klopp done that, if Klopp come in after not winning the title for 27 years and after 12 months said this team just doesn't want to win the league, imagine what we'd have all said. We'd have gone,
I know.
Go then.
What you
Go and find me someone who can. Do you know what I mean? Because we're going to win it. And if it's not you, it's going to be someone else, not just, oh yeah, it's the fans' fault. It's anyone but me. So that's why it's happened. Like, but so I'm not that bothered really, because I don't really care about Tottenham that much.
Exactly. So let's say the hot topics now. Let's talk about the last England game. We don't care about the national team, of course, but let's
I only
say
watched the interview at the end anyway.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The interview after the game, for my point of view, it was a little bit like romantic, because probably we saw two of the, one of the definitely the biggest Liverpool legend all time, and probably the new Liverpool player. Why not? Bellingham and Gerrard.
I'm not tempting fate, lad. Because
what's the interview, mate?
If we don't get him now, like the egg, I don't know whether you for me the expression egg on your chin. The egg on our chin, mate, will be. Oh, we need a big napkin to get that off if we don't get him now, like I'm telling you, because everybody is just convinced. Everybody is like, there's people meeting him outside England hotels, signing Liverpool shirts with him, and
Kieo,
you better get him, lad, because if we don't, like,
I have a sensation inside myself, like everything is done.
Well, I think that
it's like
I'm
everything.
open now.
Exactly.
Because if it's not,
everything is done. Everything is done behind the scenes, or they are doing is very, very close to be done. And all of these pictures on the socials with trends, it's a stupid things. They are
this
made.
is what I'm saying. He's either winding us up or it's done.
There is something true about all of this, because come on, how many players in the national English team? 25 players, and he's always next to Trent and Henderson. I mean, we are a little bit dreamer as Liverpool supporters, and we want this player more than anything. That's true. But mate, I have this sensation, probably I'm wrong, that, for example, the picture with Trent and Bellingham in the Chris Brown concert in London, it's a stupid picture. It's just, a picture between two big players in the Premier League, because between the two mates. But there is something inside. There is something behind the scenes. That's, even the picture on Instagram, Henderson, after the game with Bellingham, they just recovering after the game. There is something true behind the scenes. You agree with me?
Football's a little bit different these days, because you do see Man City players going on with Man United players. You see Liverpool players knocking about with Man United players. That never used to be the case. So
exactly,
you can read a little bit too much into it. However, what leads me to think it's done more than anything, more than the photos of the Chris Brown concerts or the man going around in the restaurants in England saying, is the fact that we haven't signed a midfielder in ages, like ages,
4.5 years,
ages, lad, and we needed it in the January transfer window just gone. We needed it. We needed one in the summer. We needed one the window before. We needed one when Ronaldo left. And it hasn't come in. And we know that Klopp likes to wait for his man. If he has a target, a number one target, he's done it with Alisson, he's done it with Van Dijk.
Yeah.
So if that's the main target and he's happy to wait for him, that's what makes me think it might have stopped us making other signings in the summer. It better not be that, because if it's not, then we're going to have a situation on our hands in the summer where the fans and the ownership of the club are going to start drifting. There's going to be people who are really, really unhappy at the amount of funds spent. There's going to be people really unhappy the fact that we got to the top of football and we didn't bring in world-class players. So, and I think they know that. Surely they know that. Surely the club know that. The only problem is now, we don't finish in the top 4. But you're Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid. I know there's reports Real Madrid aren't signing anyone big, but if you're Real Madrid and you say, right, there's 450, 500 grand a week. We just won the European Cup 2 years on the bounce or whatever. Do you want to come play for us in midfield with Modric and Tchouaméni? It's tough. It's really tough. So, hang on a minute. No, because Mario and Kieo were saying on a podcast in Liverpool that, you know, they really love him to come to Liverpool and everyone had like, he's our perfect. What difference does that make? Do you know what I mean? We need to be in the Champions League and we need to be performing at the top level. Otherwise, there's going to be a little bit of nerves going around that transfer. However, let's go back to the interview, lad. The way he looks at Gerrard and the way he says the teams he plays for and stuff like that.
I agree with Steven Gerrard when he said that at the age of 19, Steven Gerrard wasn't that good like Bellingham now.
He wasn't. 24, he got there, didn't he, in 2004, 2005?
2003, 4, yeah.
Yeah, like, and when Gerrard took over the captaincy at Liverpool,
yeah,
I'd agree with Gerrard. He looks bigger, he looks stronger, he looks more physical, he looks more mature. He's scoring goals for fun in the Champions League at the highest level. He's perfect for us, lad. But like I say, I need to be a little bit cautious about how much I go down that Jude Bellingham role, because if we don't sign him, lads, and or something happens and we finish 5th, I hope we don't, and Bellingham says, I'm going to play Champions League football, what are you on about? I'm the best midfielder in Europe. Everyone's going to go, well, what about this big love affair that we've been having online for the past 6 months? Doesn't make a difference. So yeah, let's get in the camp that he's coming and let's be positive, because he quite clearly has an admiration for Gerrard, and that's obviously come through watching Liverpool. The way he was talking to Gerrard yesterday or the day before, about
and he said to Gerrard, "You are my idol. You always been my idol." So it's
the way he said, the teams he played for, and that means Liverpool, doesn't it? So yeah, that's good a bit. Let me run me actually the teams he played for. So yeah, let's get him in, lad. Let's get him in. But the problem is, lad. I mean, getting deep here, but at the start of the season, when things weren't going too great and the performances looked a bit flat in midfield, it was Bellingham. I'll fix it. You give me Bellingham now and sign nobody else. We don't start next season the way we should. And if you go bringing in 5, 6, 7 players, then all of a sudden you're getting into territory of we don't want to change that much. Every time Liverpool in history, remember that summer we brought in about 11 transfers under Rodgers or something like that, and we just looked all over the place. You don't bring, big changes don't necessarily always mean, big performances in the season after.
Absolutely.
So we need to be very, very careful. And I think people probably want to kick off here because he wants to spend loads of money, but I think we're going to be signing a few free transfers. I think that if we're going to spend £150 million on a midfielder in Bellingham or whatever it may be, I don't think we're going to see a £100 million centre-half come in, or the £100 million right back, or a £100 million centre-forward to replace Firmino. What's the most we've ever spent in a summer? 170, is it?
We spent for the last summer, you mean?
No, in any transfer window, I'd say, is it the Van Dijk and Alisson
we didn't spend
I know,
nothing.
but that's exactly. So we actually spent 150 million quid, but we got about 140 in for Coutinho.
From Coutinho.
So but let's forget what we got in. The most we've ever actually spent is £170 million.
170 million
in one window, right?
In one window.
So to beat that, you're looking at a £200 million window. How much further than £200 million would they ever actually go? So do you expect them to double the records transfer summer? I don't. I expect to see around that, if not a little bit more. And if Bellingham's going to take up 150 million quid of it, then we're going to see a few cheaper players and deals come in. Just hope we get them right.
For example, the comment of Chris and his cow's beard, he say, I'd move Adrian, Gomez, Matip, Jones, Milner, Henderson, Ox, Keita, Firmino, Fabinho, Arthur, Jota, and appoint a new captain. I mean, I agree with him. From some of these players, we need to get rid of it, of course. Not all of them. For example, I want to keep, of course, the Jota, Thiago Alcantara, Henderson. I want to keep it as well.
I keep Jota, but there's an interesting point to talk about Jota, isn't he?
What do you think? How much money we can make with all these players that we're gonna sell? How much?
Well, let's have a look at that there. Firmino's out of contract. You're not making any money.
Exactly.
Arthur's not making any money. Oxlade-Chamberlain's not making any money. Henderson's 31 now. Probably not going to get moved on. He'll be kept at the club anyway.
With Gomez.
Milner might end up being a coach or something. He's no money. Gomez, okay, you might get a few quid for him. Adrian, you get no. There's no money in that list.
There's no money in that
There's
list.
no money in that list at all. So that's what I'm trying to say. If we're going to try and lay out and bring in 5, 6, 7 world-class players, we're not getting the money in, because the players that are leaving, there might be a big wage bill there. Well, the wage bill's massive, isn't it? But That's still not enough to go splashing on transfers. But the point is making about Jota. I would not move Jota on because I think
No, Jota, no. He
definitely needs time, but he hasn't scored in about 30 games.
The last game of Diogo Jota?
It's not good enough.
Do you remember the last game?
He scored.
He scored.
No. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it's a while ago.
Guys, do you remember the last time Diogo Jota scored for Liverpool?
You can tell how much I just don't even think anymore. I just go to Google when I'm watching a match, but I just go like that. When's the last time Jota scored? But
and he's carrying.
When I've got to use my own head, I can't even think. But genuinely, he hasn't scored in I think it's about 28, 29 games, or one goal in about 28, 29 games.
He haven't scored this season.
So I'm not saying move him on, but it's an area that we need to start addressing. Jota needs to start getting goals.
Man City away in April last year. We're talking about 11 months ago. That was his last
I know he's had
goal.
a big injury, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course, twice.
But still, lad, you come back in the team, he looks a little bit off the pace and stuff like that. So I wouldn't move him on, but again, this is what I'm talking about. When players coming in, it's not going to be wholesale changes. You can't just move on somebody who hasn't had a good 6 months. And again, in that list there, Thiago, you can't move him on as well. You can't move if you moved all them players on. We'd need about £400 or £500 million to spend this summer.
I have the sensation, Kieo, probably I'm wrong, but I have a bad sensation about. I know that we're gonna spend money next summer, and of course, we hope in Bellingham, but because you say all these players know any money, we can't get any money from them. So I have the bad sensation. Hopefully, I'm wrong that we're gonna sell Mohamed Salah.
Again,
it's we renew his contract last season because of we don't want to lose him like for free.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And he gets that money because he's the best winger in the world and stuff like this. So I think if you want to get Bellingham, Mount, and I don't know, probably Matheus Nunes and stuff like this, we will say goodbye to Mohamed Salah. I don't want it, but I have this bad sensation inside. What do you think about it?
I think if you're FSG and you're putting a stake of the club up for sale, you don't sell its best assets. If you want to try and sell Liverpool as a project that can go on and compete and win leagues, you need the squad to be full of world-class players tied down to long-term deals. I think the way it's balanced at the minute, the way the fans feel about not spending and not strengthening and kicking on from winning cups. If you it was nearly kicking off when he was going to leave. When he didn't sign the contract last summer, there's people fuming, thinking, like, we need to sign him. And we did sign him. So I don't think he'll leave this summer. However, there's a reason that FSG tied him down to such a big, long deal. I do think eventually you'll see Salah sold, try and recoup some of that massive wage bill that they'll spend, but I don't think it'll be this summer. I think you're looking a year or two away from that. And be honest, Mario, I don't even want to think about it, lad.
I know
the whole team hasn't been fantastic this year, but you don't sell your best players, you keep your best players, you know what I mean? And Salah's definitely one of them. Like,
I absolutely agree. But if you think in 2017, 2018, when we sold Philippe Coutinho to Barcelona, he was our best player.
Liverpool's done this through history.
And after that, without Coutinho, we became even better.
Yeah, but it happens through history, doesn't it? Every time Liverpool have never kept their best players till the end of the tenure.
Yes.
Keegan left, Dalglish came in, and we've seen Torres leave Michael Owen leave. We've seen Torres leave. We've seen Suarez leave. We've seen Liverpool do move players on, but something changed, didn't it, when Klopp came in and we did, and the reason why them players were always moved on was because there was somebody bigger or a little bit better coming in and sniffing around them. Chelsea took Torres offers and Real Madrid took Michael Owen offers. When Klopp, it's cliche that doubt is to believers line. Once we became believers, it was the mentality shifted about we are one of Europe's best and we need to act like one of Europe. And that's the reason why everybody wants to spend. That's the reason why everyone wants to strengthen and bring in the best players, because this time round we don't want to play that underdog card that we had under Benitez. No, with Liverpool, we'll steal something late. We never want to get back to that. We never want to go back to being the underdog who with the big history. We want to go back to winning games and winning trophies because nobody can get near us.
Definitely, I absolutely agree. For me, some of the people they saying about Gavi. Gavi is, the Barcelona midfielder. He's struggling to renew his contract with Barcelona because some kind of I don't understand which kind of problem they got. They can sign him. They can Gavi. They can give him a long time contract because he's so young. I don't know, but he's an option.
Yeah.
if we don't get Bellingham.
Definitely,
For me, Bellingham, man, I agree with you. For me, Bellingham is the priority. I'm gonna go for all in on him because he knows he's 19. He knows he's gonna be the best midfielder in the world in the next 10 years. So I think if he's clever, I hope he's a clever. He will say, "Look, I'm 19. I have the world on my feet. I'm gonna go to Liverpool for the next 4 or 5 seasons. I'm gonna be, because the treatment Liverpool, the love and the passion Liverpool supporters give you, no one in the world can give you. If you don't think about the money, because he's just 19, he's already rich. He doesn't need to think about the money at the moment. He doesn't need to think about to make more money that because what he needs to think at the moment is how can I improve? How can I be better footballer than the last season? So I think he knows he's English, first of all. And he knows with the club he can be the best because Kop now he knows how to manage with young players of that talent. And the Kop, all the supporters, we can give a massive. He's a special. We can treat him as a special player. That's what happened with Real Madrid, Man City, and Man United. You know this.
I agree. It's definitely a fantastic fit for him. But again, back to the point of footballers want to win trophies. Of course, they want to earn big money. But if you can get the opportunity to earn big money and compete for the biggest trophies, then it's an offer that's going to be difficult to turn down. And again, I've said it a couple of times on this show, finishing in the Champions League for Liverpool and signing Bellingham, I think, is very, very, very important. Unless, as you said, it's already tied up and it's already done, and I hope it is. But like, if it's not, if at this point in time, genuinely nothing's done, it's massive that we get in the Champions League, because although it's a great fit in the City and Klopp and this and this, Real Madrid will still develop him. Real Madrid will still give him trophies.
Even with they got how his name, Tukameni,
I do.
Kamavinga.
I think playing in that side, I think he'd look great. Like I do.
But they don't give you
I'd
that.
hate to see Bellingham in Real Madrid side.
They don't give you that love.
Maybe
You don't feel love from the people.
Maybe, but again, I know for a fact once you're dominating in the Champions League like he's done for Dortmund and he's scoring big goals and he's getting touted as one of Europe's best, it's going to be very, very difficult to make a decision to drop out of the Champions League. It's going to be very difficult. But again, it's Jurgen Klopp, it's Liverpool, and we're going to finish in the Champions League spots, Mario. So we're not even discussing that.
Absolutely.
Finish fourth, and as soon as the last day of the season, bring them out to Anfield or something. Give it one of them.
I can't even think about it. So Kartzi says, what I don't understand is that people always say Bellingham will be as loved as Gerrard and Jude will carry LFC to glory, but Gerrard never left after 4 years. Jude won't be as loved if he leaves. I agree with that.
I mean, if he wins a European Cup
in that way,
then I'll don't get me wrong, I'll go to the leagues. But this is the thing about players and I sound like an half-art here, but the modern game, the romance isn't there anymore, and players. I mean, we're already talking about Haaland leaving Man City, aren't they? In 2024, Real Madrid sniffing around. He's only on a short deal. I think gone are the days where you're going to see a player sign for a team and just stay there for 10, 15 years. I mean, we look at Sadio, for example. He won everything at Liverpool and he was off to Bayern Munich. He could have stayed there, he could have retired there, he could have done anything he wanted. But the game is just not like that anymore. One club players are rare, especially if you're winning trophies. I think it's more common for teams who don't win things for players to last. But once players have won stuff and they develop and they become best players in the league, top scorers and win medals, they move to new challenges. So let's not even go down that road about him leaving yet. Let's get him in first before we even talk about him leaving.
Players like Paolo Maldini, like Alessandro Del Piero, Francesco Totti, Steven Gerrard, Ryan Giggs, they don't exist anymore for me. That was a different football, a different mentality. They were world-class players. Yeah. You say that they were world-class players and they played the whole career for the same team. But I don't think in the modern football at the moment it's not possible to do anymore.
I just don't think there's too much money in it. Imagine going to a club and winning the league, winning the FA Cup, winning the League Cup, win the Champions League, and then someone says to you, right then, you're not from that city, you're not from that country. We're you run your contract down, I'm going to give you the 3 or 4 million quid and you can come do it again in this country and you can have all the honours in Germany as well, all the honours in England. That's what players want. They want a glittering career, don't they? So I'm not going to go down the road about Bellingham leaving, because as long as he comes in, I'll be happy. And if he comes in, I do think we'll improve, but it's not the be all and end all. Like I say, people are very, very obsessed with the Bellingham signing. And don't get me wrong, I think about it quite a bit myself, but it's not the fix. It's not the be all and end all. We've got to sort out the players we've got. Out of the squad we've got, 23 players in the squad, 23-man squad. How many of them are going to be here next year? You're looking 15, 16 players, lads. So this idea that it's going to be wholesale changes, there might be, but you've still got to sort out 15, 16 players who are playing below par, and the mentality has changed from where it was a couple of years ago. There's a job to fix in-house, and just bringing in a 19-year-old wonder kid isn't going to fix the fact that, like, John Gomez is making mistakes at the back, or Trent's having a bit of a bad time at right back. I mean, it actually might do because you'll help Trent out. But you know what I'm trying to say, though? There's issues there that just aren't fixed by bringing in one player. So, first point of call is beating City at the Etihad on
Absolutely.
Saturday.
This is the priority. So let's read some of the comments about Bellingham, about all this situation. I guess it's easy to say from the outside, but Kieo is right. Loyalty, it's dying in the game. Absolutely, I agree. But I don't. Of course, I wish that that kind of loyalty it's still alive. But in the modern football, everything which matters is the money.
Well, it just shows you Liverpool went on to be, in my eyes, one of the best football teams of all time in that period a couple of years ago. And last summer we were talking about our 2 main players potentially leaving. Sadio went to Bayern Munich and Salah hadn't signed a deal.
Because they wanted,
so there's romance
a new challenge.
There's romance dead in football, isn't it? Like you've got one of England's biggest club. We've won every trophy. We're going to make it the highest paid player, and that still might not be enough. That's proof romance is dead in football. So the idea that you might sign Bellingham for the rest of his career.
No, definitely.
Get that out your head, know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. No. If he comes, he will come for 3, 4, 5 years, maybe. Not for the whole career. That's impossible. No one is like Gerrard, that's for sure. So, do you think that we have to get the proper right back to get healthy competition for Trent to stop him feel too comfortable? I absolutely agree with that. And I'm going to tell you something else. I want to see Trent in the midfield. Absolutely.
You said that a few times, haven't you?
Absolutely. But if you make this happen, we need to buy a massive right back. A massive right back, like a massive player, a big player, not like we bought from Scotland, Calvin Ramsey, young player. We don't know how he's gonna do. He got like 2-3 injuries. He's not playing. We need someone who can really. I don't know which right back is available to come to Liverpool to play, and we can move Trent, because for me Trent in that position, man, he gonna make 15 to 20 assists, and he gonna score probably like between 5 and 10 goals in a season. I think that.
Doesn't he do that now, though?
Now?
From right back? Doesn't he get 15 to 20 assists now from right back? And this is the point I'm trying to make, is
Exactly.
Mario is, if it's not broke, well, people are going to say it is broke because he gets skinned sometimes at right back. But what he does going forward has changed football. There's no right back in history that is, or left back, who done what these do. And it revolutionised full backs in the game and all this sort of thing. And now the numbers that they've got are fantastic. I'd be more inclined to fixing the defensive shortcomings than I would be to try and find somebody who can come in and do everything Trent does going forward and sort out the few issues that he has in defending. Another thing is as well, our midfield is a gaping holes all season, and you can see how Trent is exposed, because he used to be covered by a Fabinho playing well. He used to be covered by a Wijnaldum. He used to be covered by a Henderson who had legs for 90 minutes. And everything comes down that side now and attacks Trent because there might be a weakness there. But genuinely, his stats going forward and what he does going forward outweigh the things at the back. And I'd be more inclined to fix them things by bringing maybe a centre-half on his side that can have a midfielder that can used to do what Gini done for him and cover him and stuff like that, and allow him to play his game again. Because I think it's when he plays well, we're quieter about it compared to when he plays crap. Like at the minute, we've set a bar there, but Trent is a young kid who went on to win everything at a young age and actually break assist records and all of a sudden it's like, we need a new right back, You bring a new right back in, You kiss by to 20 assists a season. If he doesn't get that, then what? Do we change the way we play? Do we change left back as well? It just upsets it a little bit. I'd be more inclined to fix the defensive issues than I would be to just completely switch him at right back.
So you think we need another defender, centre defender?
Yeah.
Absolutely agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, I've stuck up for Joe
Because
Gomez over the years.
we focus
and
on
stuff.
all our problems is the midfield, which is true, but we need to fix the defensive as well because Joe Gomez, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, innit? Because
don't trust
I've
him
stuck up for
anymore.
him for a few years, Joe Gomez, and when he used to be played at right back, I used to say, it's not fair on him because he's not really a right back, he's a centre back. He's only young and all this, and now he's at a peak age and he plays at centre back and he makes some crazy decisions. He looks nervous, and that's the last thing we need.
Exactly.
When Liverpool are flying, that back four looks so comfy.
He's not confident anymore in himself.
His nerves,
His nerves. And he can show this situation all the time. He plays every game. He doesn't give me that kind of, okay, today Van Dijk with Joe Gomez. Okay, Joe Gomez is doing well. I'm feeling okay because I'm always worried when he plays. He doesn't give me any confidence, mate. Which is bad for the man who, this is the 8th season with Liverpool. Joe Gomez, he came 2015.
This is what I mean. It's got
He
to
came
the
at
point now.
18 years old. He didn't improve a lot.
When he first came, he looked like the room to improve and improve. But like I say, he's got to the age now where he should be, starting every single game and dominating games as a centre half. And he seems nervous. He doesn't seem too confident in his own ability. Seems nervous to be the one that makes the mistake. And some of the decision making has just been wild. But that's just not him. To be fair, I've seen that from Virgil and the fullbacks as well. The defending this season's been crazy to say the least.
Do you reckon this is like a strange question? Do you reckon that Virgil is not the same player after that Everton injury?
I'd be more inclined to say Virgil isn't the same player after winning every single trophy available. I think and it doesn't have Virgil. I think the issues with key players this season has been the hunger compared to 2 or 3 years ago.
The hunger, I absolutely agree.
Like when we lost in Kiev, we come out the
Absolutely.
blocks the year after. And we got to 97 points and didn't win the title. We came out the blocks the year after, and the difference was there was always one trophy that they hadn't won yet. They hadn't won the league yet. They hadn't won the Europe. And this time round, every trophy's in the cabinet, and it just seems to be that little thing missing, which is the hunger and the desire to. And if things aren't going your way, we have to fix this in the next 5 minutes now. Where it doesn't happen like that at the minute. It just seems a little bit.
I agree.
Going through the motions, so that's what I'm saying about the mentality. Needs to shift again, and that can be.
But why we lost that mentality from like 5 years ago?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe
it's the same team, same manager, same players.
But they've won everything, and they're all 300 grand a week richer for the past 5 years, and maybe that's a factor. Maybe they say the hunger just isn't there, and maybe that's why fresh faces are needed. Maybe they're tired. Maybe other teams have got better. Maybe it's an off season. I don't know, lad. I really don't know. But all I know is it's not good enough. But it can't just sit there and moan about it, can you? You've got to get behind him, and we've got to go to the Etihad at the weekend, and we've got to make loads of noise and get behind him, and make sure that we come out of there with the mindset of we only got to win the next 2, and all of a sudden
we need to think game by game, because I think this week who comes is probably the most important week for the top 4 for Liverpool, because we've got 3 massive games. Everything depends of these 3 games, what's gonna happen for the top 4. So we've got Saturday Man City, massive game, and we need to support the lads, stay next to them, and we need to win, mate. Okay, guys, that was everything from us today. I hope I've been a good hosting. I never can replace Alex because Alex is the best, but I just try to be, to give my best. Thanks very much, Kieo, for your opinion, for everything you say. 99%. I was agree with you, everything almost. 1% I don't give you because otherwise it's too much. But 99% is good. Thanks very much, Kieo, to be in the Kop TV today. And guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks very much for everyone. We are 29,700, just 300 missing to reach the massive of 30,000 followers. So let's do it. Let's support the lads, up the Reds, and let's Man City on Saturday. Come on!
Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it.
Please, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kop TV.
The voice of football's most famous stand.